In today's video, I'll be going over my backpack as well as my tent and other items that I do use with it. So we're just going to be talking the majority of my backpack and tent and what goes with it. Okay? So for my backpack, I have the Waymark Evlv 35 liter. The Waymark Evlv is a frameless pack. So right here on the back end of the backpack, it is actually just no frames inside of it at all. So it usually has these aluminum little kind of like stays inside, so it kind of forms to your back. But with this backpack, all it has is just a padding in the back of the backpack itself. Alright, and with this backpack, it comes with a sternum strap right here, as well as a whistle, and it as well as comes with these load lifters, so that the backpack isn't sagging down from your back or your shoulders, so it just kind of hugs your back more. And then it comes with these little kind of like cinches right here, so you can cinch down the backpack more tighter if you need to. And you can, I noticed that I can put my trekking poles in here as well, and I can put my umbrella too. And for the front mesh, for the front pocket, it has this lycra mesh pocket, so it's pretty big. It fits a lot in there. You can't really see much in there, as well as a logo on the bottom that is green. And then it comes with one little ice axe holder. But this is a 2021 version, so it doesn't come with the two trekking pole holders right here. Okay, and then as well as on both sides of the backpack, it comes with elastic pockets on the side, so you put your water bottles in there. So I noticed that I can fit two 1 liter water bottles in here. I had a 1.5 liter in here before, and a 1 liter, and it fitted perfectly. The only problem I really have with this is it's kind of a hard time. I have a hard time getting the water bottles itself. And then moving back to the front, I wanted to go over kind of these little straps that go over on your shoulder. They're very wide and they're very comfortable on your shoulders. And this backpack is basically made for like holding onto your back more like a fast pack. You know those running backpacks they have? This is like a similar design to it, and this backpack is usually meant for around 18 to 20 pounds, it says on a website, of a max capacity it holds, but I have went over it many times. And we'll just go over my bandana. My bandana is just for wiping my sweat and other things. And then on the left side of the shoulder strap, I have my Peak Design capture clip. You attach your camera to it, so you just slide it on and off. It has a button on the side right here. So it makes it easy and very accessible for you to take off and put on your camera. We'll move to the hip belt. The hip belts. The hip belts is an optional attachment. It doesn't come with the hip belts, but I bought this separately. So what I do have on here is the Light AF hip belts on each side, and I bought separately a Z-Packs hip belt pouch. Pouch. These are very large. I have a lot of room there. I fit my iPhone 11 there very well with still some room to spare. And I usually carry that on the right side. And on the other side, I usually carry some other items I'll go over right now, such as, so on the left side of my hip belt pocket, or the right, vice versa, whatever I want to do. I usually carry my shaving cream. And then I have my lip balm. I usually carrying that one, and then I have hand sanitizer, I have, and then as well as just some protection, some sunscreen. And I don't have it right now, but I usually carry my little elixir of mosquito spray, and I have my buff, so whenever I need to cover my neck from the sun. The last thing I have in my left hip belt pocket is my gum. This gum, I like to chew a lot, so it helps keep me awake as well. It's a minty one. And then on top of my backpack, I carry my sit pad. My sit pad is a Nemo sit pad. Nothing special about it. This is made out of recycled material, as well as it has these little nipples on top, like going all over, these little grooves and everything. I noticed that there's some hard plastic, I don't know, inside of the material because it's made out of recycle. I noticed that sometimes it kind of pinches your butt, but it came with a strap on there, But I ripped it off. I don't know how I ripped it off or where I ripped it off, but I just did. I don't know what the use was that for. I think it's just to hang it up like this with that little hole right there. But yeah, that's my sit pad. Nothing special about it. Sometimes I use it as like a little windscreen for my stove. So with the Waymark Evlv, it has a roll top design, so I'm able to unroll and roll up the pack, and as well it has one strap that goes on top and it cinches down right there, and it comes with these little elastic little loops for the ice axe. And what else? This backpack is made out of X-Pack material. With the X-Pack, it's a little more durable, and I've thrown this pack many times, as well as put this mesh against the tree and sit against it, and I have not noticed any tear and wear in it at all. S-hook carabiners on each side of my backpack, so I have one here as well as one here. And what these carabiners are for, I usually just hang off my wet clothes or wet clothes that I want to dry. I just hook it onto here in my backpack so I can keep on hiking. And as well as I actually use this S carabiner right here for I put it on I clip it to the handle part of the backpack, so I kind of just hook it up to the handle part of the trekking pole when my whole tent is set up, so that my backpack isn't sitting on the ground. Alright, so moving on to my tent. My tent is the Gossamer Gear, the 2. This is made of nylon. Nylon material is a single wall tent, which means it does not have the rain fly that goes over the top of the tent. It just has the single wall on it. And to operate and actually put the tent up, you have to use your trekking poles. And with your trekking poles, you have a certain measurement you have to go to actually pitch the tent correctly. So with the tent, it actually has a bunch of lines going off of it. I actually do enjoy the clothesline it does have inside, because I could just hang up my my hiking clothes in the inside of the tent. And I noticed that there's a lot more condensation whenever you do have your sweaty clothes in the inside of your tent. But it's fine, no big deal. I do enjoy using that though, but I don't mind wiping down some condensation from the inside. And the condensation is usually just because it's a single wall tent. The tent, I love the tent. There's no problems with it. The 2 is amazing. It's very roomy. There's a lot of headroom. I've never had a problem with it. You just have to be very particular of where you're setting up your tent, because sometimes you have to find the most even ground possible so that when you go in your tent, you're not sliding down on your sleeping pad or anything. The tent itself, it's tape seamed on the inside, so on the stitching, so that no water gets inside. It's very lightweight too. It's very compactable. This is a 2, and the one I use for myself when I'm going by myself backpacking is the 1, and they're both made out of nylon. And I usually bring the 2 whenever I'm going backpacking with someone else that I'm going to be sharing a tent with. And then usually what I use, since it's nylon, what I do usually use is a Tyvek ground sheet. And this Tyvek ground sheet is mostly just as a ground sheet for my tent, so that it has some protection underneath my tent if there's any roots or twigs that I don't see that don't puncture a hole in the bottom of my tent. Tent stakes. And for these, I just use these for the kind of go on the outside of around the tent. So the 4 corners of the tent, and then with the 2 corners of the main holding of the tent where the trekking poles goes, I use these little beefier stakes. I got my trekking poles. My trekking poles are the Lecky light aluminum trekking poles. I have 2 tips. This is the one I bought separately just for when I'm road walking or something. I usually just switch these type of tips for it. It's detachable, so I can just slide it on and slide it off. I do really like these little latches right here that it has for these trekking poles. They're very nice, and as well it has like a screw right here. So if you loosen it up, you detached it, you can actually tighten up as needed. There's like a little hand screw thing to cinch it up more. I enjoy that a lot, so it prevents the sliding whenever you're hiking. And then these the handles are on it is very nice. They're cork handles. They're extremely nice. They don't make my palms very dry like the old trekking poles I used to have. Yeah, that's everything I have for for my tent and my backpack and everything else that I use with those items. So thank you for watching. Have a great day. Bye.